What's that?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Luke.
Look who?
Look through the peephole and you'll see it's me.
Seriously?
Yeah, the best
Well,
I
it was
could
a
come
good
up
one.
with.
It
Thank
was a
you,
good
thank you,
one.
thank you.
It's your friendly neighborhood anchors with a splash of sunshine. And we have what the doctor prescribed for you this Tuesday morning, a dose of premium family entertainment.
You bet. You've made it to the right place every single morning. For this one, a Tuesday. No need to check your television sets. All the amazing, wondrous stuff is all here real time. You guys just sit back, enjoy it, at least for this Tuesday, and then we'll prescribe another one for you tomorrow.
Indeed. Talking about real, we don't do this alone. We've got Mike in the kitchen looking like he's the most serious person in the world, but we know that's not the case.
It's Christmas season, of course, and it's time to be jolly and have fun and celebrate. I hope you're getting into the Christmas mood, guys, or are you out there? You get some carols, just get something, put yourself into the mood. Hey, come on, we're all we got. It's great to be here on a Tuesday morning. I'm Mike Messikena. Let's get it going.
Well, indeed.
So I was tempted to ask him how long he's been preparing that speech, but please go on.
I was going to say, hey, Butler, can we have your finest wine?
Oh!
No, you didn't.
I've got palm
good.
wine. I've got the wine, palm wine. Very, very natural. Very
A cup
French.
of blood.
As kids, we used to call that monkey suit. But
Monkey
it looks good on you,
suit.
man. I saw the one you wore on Saturday as well. That was,
Oh,
that was nice.
yeah. We're trying to get some inspiration from you. I don't know what happened to you. You've dropped by the side.
Thank you.
This
I'm
was
coming-
you.
I'm coming back with my monkey jacket.
Mazino lost some weight in his tummy, which he has not let us hear the end of it. So he has stopped wearing it, pending when he finally
To do
gets
what?
the flat tummy he wants. So we're getting there. You're being like MJ now.
We have a license to throw you guys, so make sure the whole day you spend it here with us on TVC. But for starters, here, the breakfast show is something that you, well, hey, we promise it's going to be grand for the next hour and 45 minutes. Just follow us through everything that we have prepared for you. Just stay tuned.
That's right. Our Tuesday edition of the show is always buzzing. And we're really glad that you've chosen to start your day with us. Today's edition is specifically curated
Indeed.
to put a smile on your face. So put a smile on your face,
Oh, we're
even
doing
if
this morning,
Christmas
aren't we?
is not yet set. Spain.
Listen, it's going to be the shortest month in December, but watch out for January. I warned you already. But in any case, we aim to get better and better and better. And of course, let's let you know who we are. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. You can stream the show live at TVC entertainment.tv on Facebook at TVC Connect. Remember, you can also use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms.
Yes, indeed. And remember, you can also download the app where you can watch us every single place, iOS or Google Play Store. It's all on there for you. And also, we are on Channel 27 on GOTV and 49 for UHF.
Yes, we also implore you to follow us across all our social media, okay?
You said that before.
Yeah, I know. I just could not resist mentioning it again.
It's at
But
TVC
remember,
Connect.
it's at TVC Connect. I forgot to mention that earlier. It's why I had to repeat it. Now, Juliet Vincent Obi is an educationist, social entrepreneur, and child entrepreneur enthusiast. She'll be on the show this morning on parenting, and we cannot wait to hear what she has for us. Now, minstrel Mosun Alake, popularly, or it might be Alake. It's always, it's always one with that. Popularly known as Mosun Exalter, is a gospel music minister, and this morning she will be performing for us.
Now, O.V. Godwin is a comedian, host, and MC who has been doing stand-up comedy for over 4 years. Now, he's witty, informative, and also very animated, and he tells plenty of great jokes we hear. Now, he's performed at a wide range of places, and today he's going to be joining us here inside of the loft.
All right, so today's St. Nicholas Day.
St. Nicholas?
Yes.
Isn't that the guy who became Santa Claus?
Yes.
Did you know the story, though?
Yes.
What was it?
You tell us.
Too many different versions of that story.
Very, very
Yeah,
different
so many
versions.
different. Everybody has their
And
version.
you see something here about historical tellings and all of that, yeah? You really might not be able to know what is right. There was a discussion online, an argument about Wilberforce stopping slavery, and then no, it was not Wilberforce, it was Africa. I was like, look, come on. Somebody sat down,
And just
wrote
it.
something, another person translated it through times, and we know what. You know that thing where that
Different
that
versions,
game you play where you
different
tell
stories.
someone something
Chinese
before it
And then,
gets to
yeah,
this person,
it's another
unintentionally,
yeah.
it could be something else.
Yeah.
So more until somebody can go and take a trance into time and see how things were. We might not know, but we'll just talk about the versions.
Yes.
I think it's the same thing that happens when people put up stuff on Instagram and everybody just that happened. Remember, we were talking about something like that this morning, where you have just an instance here, like it doesn't sound plausible, but it's an instance that could have happened, but we're not too sure.
So the most important thing, really, especially in this season, is to just give, like St. Nicholas used to do. Help the poor, give to children. Yes, give to children.
Yeah.
Children in particular, this season is about them. So you can help whoever you can. I know it's tough. The situation things are, so many people are going through a whole lot. But even at that, if you have a little to spare, spare it to someone in need. Okay?
No, my husband and I even spoke about that last night. Because we're wondering why a bag of rice that he just bought is almost finished. And then we're like, well, we've been given. And, you know, we're still going to do more this holiday. So I think, spreading the gospel of, you need rice.
Good one.
Don't worry.
We'll get you rice.
A man with white beard is coming down your chimney if you have one.
Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashir Alimi. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has promised to recruit more teachers, give loans to students as part of efforts to develop education sector and build youth capacity. Tinubu made the promise during his presentation at Chatham House in London, the United Kingdom. More details in this package.
Why? I see myself as a marketable individual.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu spoke on the topic, Nigeria's 2023 elections, security and economic development, and its foreign policy imperatives to a mixed audience of Nigerians and foreigners.
The youth has been part of that. I want the governor of Lagos State.
He said youths are the greatest asset of the future, adding that they will be part of his, quote, all-inclusive government, pointing to Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The APC presidential candidate also promised to secure the country if elected as president, calling for a violence-free campaign. He condemned recent attacks of offices of the Independent National Electoral Commission in some parts of the country.
We are still building confidence in our democratic and voting system.
The former Lagos State Governor also insisted that his birth, academic and professional records are consistent, adding that his critics are only wasting their time and money.
At the time of birth, I was dated March 29, 1952, and the family record. I didn't think then, that day, I've determined to be or decided to be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Not even that I will go to politics. I've a very good exposure in life. My record is consistent. And the school and the university, they question, they now convinced that they wasted their money and their time. I'm not claiming another father. I am Tinubu and Tinubu proper. If they want a DNA, they could as well require for one. Deloitte trained me as an accounting firm. Mobile has attested to my record, a standing record. I got to the pinnacle of my career. And the private sector, who among them can brag about that?
Some members of his entourage spoke on what they hope to achieve when voted into power, ranging from reduction in oil theft by adopting necessary technology and amending the constitution to ensure state policing, amongst others.
To combat oil theft is tied to the security situation of Nigeria. The personnel of all the security or coercive agencies will be increased to cope with the large population of Nigeria.
The armed forces are not fighting with other countries. They are fighting with non-state actors. And the doctrine the training, the numbers must change. And the Bola Tinubu administration already has a blueprint which is embedded in our action plan to address this. We'll scale up the numbers of the armed forces. We'll ramp up not only the numbers, but the training and equipment.
Private sector-driven economic growth and foreign direct investment will also be a key element of that process. That's the objective of the administration, and that's what they intend to achieve through the economic policy.
Nigeria has been more dependent on importing drugs from outside the country, vaccines from outside the country. He is going to also go into health manufacturing, where we'll produce the essential medicines that Nigerians can consume.
They assured the audience of accelerated investment on gas production, revamping the economic and foreign policy imperatives.
To foreign news now, explosions have hit 2 Russian military airfields hundreds of kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Details of the blast remain sketchy as Russian media reports that the explosions killed several people. Reports also say a fuel tanker exploded, killing 3 and injuring 6 at an airfield near the city, Ryazan, southeast of Moscow, just as another 2 persons were reported to have been hurt in an explosion at an airfield in the Saratov region. A drone was said to have crashed onto the runway at Angel's Air Base in that region, damaging 2 Tu-95 bombers. Russia has reportedly fired long-range missiles at Ukraine from strategic bombers based far inside Russia rather. Ukrainian officials have not made any claim about the incidents. And that's it on the news updates for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. There's so much more to come. Just stay with us.
You're welcome. Now it's time for the dailies, at least the headlines, and that's what we bring to you inside this segment. Good morning, and this is December 6th. It's a Tuesday. Let's start with the Nation newspaper for now. Now, front and center for the Nation newspaper, this headline here, Tinubu points way forward on power, security, and others. Chatham House hosts APC candidate El-Rufai Wale Edun Bajabiamila Ayate Alake Better Edu speak. And at the top of the Nation newspaper, Atiku, I will sell off refineries to raise $10 billion for SMEs. And oil theft, we didn't indict NNPCL, says Navy. And why I deserve re-election by Governor Sanwo-Olu. Akeredolu presents 227.73 billion naira budget. At the bottom of the Nation newspaper, Ekiti Governor Oye Banji hails Supreme Court verdict on his election. We're going to move on swiftly now to our next paper for this morning, and of course that will be News Direct. Inside of the News Direct front page here, Nigeria energy crisis, FG vows attainment of OPEC's 1.8 MB per quota before Buhari's exit. As downstream crisis sparks labor reactions, NLC vows to resist any price increase in name of subsidy removal, as Atiku vows to privatize refineries if elected. At the top for News Direct, polls, betting, lotteries are residual matters exclusively for states, body of Attorney General of the Federation say. And at the bottom, ISAN, Confab, CBN to collaborate with stakeholders to check rising cyber attacks and campaign issues. Tinubu Atiku fight dirty, cast stones at each other. That's from News Direct this morning. Let's move on now to our next daily, and that's the Daily Trust newspaper. And we have this as the front headline. Tinubu takes campaign to UK, Atiku woos Lagos voters. How I'll tackle insecurity, energy crisis, say ex-Lagos governor. And records of my background, age, education consistent. I'll sell refineries to raise $10 billion employment fund, PDP candidate, and we're ordained to end Tinubu's dynasty in Lagos, says Jando. FG introduces manual studies, others to Versity's curriculum, and passengers' apathy as Kaduna-Abuja train service resume. Interesting story there on page 24. FG orders redeployment of prison officers who cannot shoot to kill, it says here on the Daily Trust. And to the side of the photo stories, bandits kill 3 policemen, others in Sokoto. And protect our facilities, INEC begs Nigerians. And 4 nabbed as APC PDP dash over billboards in Kwara. Let's move on now to our next daily, and of course that will be the last one, the Punch newspaper. Naira depreciation adds 9 trillion naira to foreign debt burden as local currency weakens by 53%. External debt rises to 288%. Nigeria needs strong, productive economies, say economists. And that's all we can take for the dailies this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. And do remember now, if you'd like to talk about them, do use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'll be right back and we'll be having a short discussion inside of the kitchen.
Everyone is looking at their phones because we're taking a look at the video, involving Samuel Eto'o, which has been trending, as a matter of fact. Mike, you have the story.
Yeah, no, basically not. Not a story. This was after Brazil, South Korea yesterday night, and of course the match ended 4-1 in favor of Brazil, who of course is in the next round. Wonderful. Talk about the World Cup some other time. Japan, Croatia, lovely people. I love them. I'm Japanese. My blood is blue. Kudos. But then the president of a football legend, president of a football federation,
an icon.
FIFA ambassador, Qatar ambassador. He played lastly in Qatar. So he's an ambassador for Qatar. And then after the match, he seriously assaulted a YouTuber, in quotes. And then the whole, what we see from the guy probably said something. And you can see him trying to go, and then people are restraining him.
Putting him back. And
then he finally gets unleashed or pushes himself up, and very vicious kicks into the guy's face or whatever, his body and all that. Very vicious. And so the question is, what would make you or anybody go that far, especially when you are so highly regarded? This is all about you. It's almost like what happened with Will Smith, you know?
Yeah.
Just about that thing. What would someone say? Because he obviously said something. Because you can see the guy, he's taking pictures with fans, he's been led out.
I'd like to think that it's irrelevant whatever the person said. It's about your individual conduct in public especially, and how you react to what people say. Because I know we're all guilty, whether you like it or not. At one time in our lives or the other, we have perhaps maybe not physically so, but reacted maybe vocally to something that we'd think about later and say, okay, I went a bit too far there. But I think there's a time in your life where you simply just gather yourself and then you're like, I cannot exhibit this kind of reaction to anything whatsoever. I think I'm there personally, I hope.
So, the post you shared, though it's in French, basically what they're saying is, okay, à la sortie du stadium, that's outside the stadium.
Oui.
Samuel Eto'o a complètement perdu sa photo.
I really wanted to do that in French.
There's a reason I wanted to point this out, because in French, when they say perdu son sang-froid is cold blood, but basically it means calm. And then, just as you said, it takes me back again to the Will Smith angle. There are people who are very good. They are known for always keeping their composure. So when something triggers them, you know that it's definitely something that's probably hit home. Like the Will Smith one, where he was trying to defend his wife. And then, of course, in this situation, something the guy said. I haven't seen the video, mentioning exactly what the guy said. But let's remember that Cameroon beats Brazil, which is like a record.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So the guy might be Brazilian. I'm yet to get it. He's Algerian. So there's probably that maybe envy that Cameroon, what are you feeling like? Okay, so your team still didn't make it out of the round of 16 or something. So it could be something he said that Eto'o just wasn't having.
Well, regardless, he's Cameroonian, and but because of his position as a FIFA president, he's meant to be biased.
FA president.
FA president, yes. Sorry. He's meant to be biased.
Unbiased.
Unbiased, okay. Sorry. Unbiased regarding whether the Algerian guy said something to him. Because from the comments, I was also getting feelers about something that happened between the Cameroonians and the Algerians at the stadium, or was a match or something. He's supposed to be unbiased, so he shouldn't let that get to him. Well, people too should try to calm down now. Haba. Sometimes people just want to attack. People just want to, get you to do something. It's
maybe the guy got the reaction he wanted.
Yes.
Exactly. Because he had the camera in his face. Yeah. It was obvious. That's what I said earlier, that he literally walked into the trap.
Called something in French.
I think it was set up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It felt like
that's exactly what happened.
It felt like a setup. And he fell into that trap so easily. And it's really, really sad because, he's supposed to be a role model.
Exactly. And you see, one thing that really, why this one is different, if, for instance, if Will Smith had 5, 6 people holding him back,
You think
that
he would
probably
have?
might not have happened.
different thing,
See
yeah.
this one? He was held back. He's in the public. This is just after a match stadium. There are cameras everywhere, so you know this will be recorded. You've been held back. They spoke to him, calm down. So that video, there's a cut. It didn't happen just immediately after. So I am wondering, like, it could have been something. I was thinking, would it have been racist? But this guy's African.
African as
So
well.
Yeah, but he's
what
not
could
black
what could he
American,
have
let's
said?
Anything,
Are
would
you seeing?
anything have made his action or reaction any more, what's the word?
Better.
I'm looking for a word here.
Justified?
Justified.
Justified.
His
Yeah, you say
reaction.
something. Yeah, there's a reason why I personally, I have birthday messages I've not listened to already in 3-4 years, because it's on both ways. You see something. Someone told me something about the praises of men. When you lean so much on people's validation, on both ways,
Yeah.
positive or negative, they get to you so very much. So some people have said, and it's not like I intentionally don't want to do, but because I want to live a life in such a way that I am as, independent from validation or from what people say.
think about you.
Because if I'm so, when they say something very nice, when they say
Gets
rubbish,
you.
It's gonna
It's
hit
going
you.
to
Yes,
hit you as well.
you're going to be upset.
Right.
Yeah.
you understand? So I don't know. I'm not.
And then
I'm
it
not
could
running
also be a
rule.
case of status. I mean, who is this guy to talk to me in this manner?
Get your security to
Yeah,
maybe
do you understand?
wrap him up a bit.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
So,
didn't say
you
that.
know, he was walking out of the stadium, according to that video.
Yeah.
So people were taking selfies with him.
Yeah.
And then this guy comes to the camera.
And just say
then
something.
Say something that triggers him, like, what
He,
the
was,
heck?
he wanted to rile him up.
Yes,
The guy
and it
wanted that
worked.
footage, and now it has
It
worked.
worked. He has given him what he wanted.
exactly.
The guy can sue him for assault.
Yeah.
And make
And make
tons
some
of money from
yeah.
it.
And the YouTuber
Yes.
also is going to be very popular. Because,
Yeah.
Now
gonna
they
be
might
getting
know
those
his name.
numbers, Of course.
Yeah.
Here's a lesson to everybody out there. If you ever get riled up like that, maybe it's not the time to react so, because you're only just giving them what they want. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so take your time, process the anger or the
Here we go
emotion that
again.
you
She did this
feel.
last week.
Right. Before you respond. Right.
There we go.
We
Motivation.
gotta go now. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, let's take that cue.
3 days of affirmation, Mama don't turn.
We love food, and that is why we are heading straight to the kitchen now to join Michael, the chef.
Yes, we are already hard at work here. We're in the kitchen. I'm with Chef Olanike. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good morning.
Good
All right, so
morning.
we are trying to get this set now. I need to get this. What are we doing this morning?
Okay, we are having peppered gizzard
Okay.
with potatoes. So I'll be-
Peppered gizzard with potatoes.
Yes, sweet
Wonderful.
potatoes.
I love potatoes. I love gizzard. Their combination should be fire, okay? Let's talk about the ingredients that we're working with here this morning. Now, let's go.
Okay, here I have my boiled gizzard.
The gizzard's already been boiled there?
Yes.
Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful. Okay.
Then
So,
I have some spices here. It depends on whatever you can get in the markets.
Okay.
You don't really have to restrict yourself to a particular ingredient or spice.
Okay.
So I have parsley flakes here.
okay.
I also have
Whole oregano.
oregano.
Okay.
Yes, I have this just for garnishing.
What's this?
You know, this is
Sesame seeds.
seed.
Okay. Looks like medicine.
Then my, I have my seasoning powder.
Okay.
My oil, and
oil,
then
okay.
we have this chili pepper.
Okay. Garlic.
Garlic, ginger, and onion, and then some other spices.
Okay, this paste has already been made.
Yes,
What's in this
is,
paste?
Yes, this is chili pepper, little bit of tomatoes, so
Okay.
it won't be too hot, and
All
then
right.
onion.
All right, that's it. That's it. This is what we are working with. You would see, of course, the whole ingredients there. We'll put it out there. You can take a screenshot. We're doing a sweet potato and gizzard mix,
Peppered
something
gizzard.
with all of that. I love both of them. And so, yeah. So, yeah, like you see there, peppered gizzard with diced potatoes. The ingredients we're working with: oil, onions, parsley, paprika. I like that, paprika. Paprika is not as spicy as
Yes.
as chili. Yeah. There's paprika, there's chili, then there's seasoning, there's boiled gizzard, diced potatoes, chopped garlic, pepper mixture, chopped fresh green and red chili. Okay. So while you have to dice the potatoes, right? For this
Yes.
one, why do you have to dice it in such in this
Because
way?
I want it in this particular shape.
Okay, in this
You know,
shape,
it
yeah.
depends on how you love it.
Okay, so
You can make it in chunks, bigger sizes.
all right.
Also,
The oil can get into here, yeah?
Yes.
All right. So we're starting with how much of the oil do you want in this? So just let me know when it's enough.
Okay, we need to start frying this first.
Okay, so just let me know when it's enough, Sha.
Okay. Deep frying, so you can add a little
Okay,
more.
deep frying.
So
eh?
this fine.
This fine.
is
eh?
just fine.
I remember my friend when we used to buy food somewhere, and then we go like, "Madam, just they put when we are okay, we tell you to stop, and they tell us how much." Okay. So, but yeah, so we're going to fry this, yeah?
Yes.
But the gizzard, it will not get near...
Okay, let's just start with the gizzard. We'll scoop it out, then we'll fry the potatoes.
Why don't we fry this one last? Because we
No,
start to fry it first.
Yes, let's start.
It will not remain for anybody.
No. Don't worry. Let's try this first.
No, Chef Nika, you don't understand what I'm saying, no? You don't understand.
Perfectly.
You don't. Voila, there. Okay. All right. And then while you're still dicing all of this, for those of you who just joined, we're doing peppered gizzard. And we also even have, you didn't mention these carrots here. I didn't know that we have this.
It's
so
not
this
really
is for garnishing?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to make it more colorful and more healthy.
All right, this will all come nice and all of that. This will all come nice. Like we said, we're doing peppered of gizzard and potatoes. We're cutting the potatoes into very small, chunks and all that, like what we're doing here. The gizzard is already, with the oil there, it's already boiling and all of that. Frying, pardon me. It was already boiled and it's already fried and all of that. Our sauce here, which was already prepared, we have pepper. It's with tomatoes also, of course, definitely. Onions. Okay, onions, yeah. So it's going to be more like a little bit of a porridge, right? Will it come out like a porridge? No? Okay.
Well,
I'm looking forward to how this will turn out.
You want it. Though at the end of the day, we mix everything together.
We're mixing everything together,
yes,
yeah?
But not really. You make sure you don't break the cubes.
The cubes of the potato and all of that, yeah? Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I know that this is quite healthy. For potatoes, we don't have so many, we're not throwing in so many carbs and all of that. And also for gizzard, are there any health benefits that this food can afford someone?
Of course. Because the more colorful your food is, the more healthy they are. And as you can see, I have more of fresh ingredients than canned or processed.
Exactly. So I like that.
That makes it more healthy.
That makes it healthier. Wonderful, wonderful. So I love that most of them, the grasses and all of that, this is our... What's this?
Lettuce.
Oh, it's not like I don't know, but the name just skipped my mind. Lettuce there. Okay, so like we said, we're doing peppered gizzard and potato. This is what we are working with: oil, onion, parsley, paprika, seasoning, boiled gizzard, diced potatoes, chopped garlic, pepper mixture, fresh green and red chili. And all of this that is happening is coming together. Well, this is already fried and all of that. How, you said you want it deep fried?
Well, this is about like shallow. You don't, not necessarily too deep. If you want, you could even put it in your stir fry. You could bake it, whichever way.
Depends on how you want. Yeah, we do have the stir fry, so if you want to stir fry, you can also do that.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we'll just take this short time out now. Chef Olanike is hard at work. And yeah, we'll let you know how this goes on when we get back after this time out.
Welcome back, people. You're tuned in to Wake Up Nigeria. With me on the couch is Juliet Vincent Obi. She's an educationist, social entrepreneur, and child entrepreneur enthusiast. Her organization, Kidpreneur Africa, focuses on capacity building for African child entrepreneurs. And since its inception in 2017, she has trained and mentored over 2,000 children in entrepreneurship and financial literacy. And today we will be talking about how to identify and hone your child's special talents. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
First off, I need to say well done on what you do for kids. I don't know how you work with kids, but well done. Now, let's get right into it. What is a talent? And what is a skill? Because sometimes we confuse these two things. Help us, expatiate on it.
Okay, so I want to start with everybody has a talent or a skill. When you watch people, you said, oh, this guy is talented, this girl is talented. And you're looking at yourself, you'll be like,
what am I doing with my life?
What am I doing with my life? So everybody got talent. So when they said, like, who got talent, you have to show up. So talent is actually skill. So a skill is something that there are people who have natural skills. So it comes to them naturally. And there are some people who are trained in a particular skill. Over time, they are used to that skill. They get, trained, and they become, it becomes part of them that you can now say, oh, the person is talented.
Yeah.
And one thing I always like to say is that there are two types of skills or talent.
Right.
So there is this overt talent, which everybody see. You can say, oh, she can sing very well, she can draw. You know, those ones are what everybody see. But there are covert talents.
Okay.
Talent that you don't see maybe with your physical eyes. You can't see people express them, such as an analytic person.
Thinking.
You can say the person is talented. Some people have this talent to solve complex issues. So that is a talent. There are some people who execute projects. That is talent, because not everybody can do that. There are people, their talent is that they have survivor
instincts.
Yeah.
That
so
is,
that is a talent, because there are some people that they've given up just because they had one issue or the other. So there are some people who are very talented in this area. So ability to analyze, ability to organize, ability to, you know, collaborate.
That could also be
all these are skills and also
great.
their talent.
I'm one of those people that think that, hey, allow kids to be kids, right? Allow them go through their regular developmental stage, right? Don't put pressure on them. Like, I mean, as a child, I don't think I wanted to put pressure on them. Oh, yeah, what can you do? Come and sell, come and buy, come and... No, I'm not a business person. Even though I have business, I'm still not a business person, right? So first off, how do you identify your child's skill or talent? Then how do you begin to harness it? Then I'd also like to know later on, at what age should the parent do this?
Okay, so identifying your child's talent is something you don't need to have like a plan. You know, like you said, you don't want to put them into too much pressure.
Yeah.
Now, when a child is playing, when children are little, they express their skills. They express their talent without their parents knowing.
Okay.
So where it comes is observing your child to know what is that child fascinated about. What is this that this child can do? Even if you said, oh, come, we have food to eat. Say, mommy, daddy, hold on, let me be through with this. You give the child a minute. I'm calling, mommy, I have... The child is so into that. So that is where you start identifying that this child is into this, or this child is passionate about this. There are some people, they can draw for life. There are these children that use crayon all over the world, and you are saying, oh my God, leave that child. That child is expressing his or her talent. There are some of them that can sing, all manner of songs. They memorize it from all their cartoons.
Yeah.
This is a pointer to what this child is wired to do. There are some of them that can talk from morning till night. You say, oh, shush, you talk too much. This child is trying to tell you, see, this is where I am caught at.
Broadcast.
So that is it. So maybe we can ask you, when you are growing up, do you talk too much? Are you this type that want to be in the mirror?
Let me tell you something interesting, right? Right. To be honest, the first person that identified what I was really good at was my guidance counselor.
Okay.
Right, not my parents. My parents wanted me to be a medical doctor. Yeah, so I did medicine for a while. But the minute I became self-aware, and to be honest, if my guidance counselor had not drawn my attention to it, I don't think I would even be sitting on this chair. Maybe I would even be in the hospital right now. But I think she was the one that, you know, helped me to give myself that push to identify, oh, this is what I really want to do, and just go for it, right? Now, let's talk about, as a parent, how do you hone your child's skill? How do you develop it? How do you, you know, help them? You know, because there can be that thin line where you could even be helping your child actualize your own dream, not your child's, you know, talents or skill. So how can we as parents develop
So
this?
I said to parents, allow your child to shine in their area of purpose. You didn't become a medical doctor, you didn't become a lawyer. Please cut them that slack, trying to fit them into your own purpose you did not fulfill. Your days are gone. So now for your children, you need to also identify platforms. When you observe and identify your child's skills and talents, it will also help you when you want to choose the school they will attend.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
it has to do that. Because if you understand that this child is artistic, I am not going to send my child to a school that all they care for is academics. So knowing this is what this child is will determine the school you send the child to. It also determines the platform you expose this child to. There are several of them.
Okay.
So you have to start, you know, pushing that child to what that child is wired to do. Now, when it comes to volunteering, So my child can draw, and there is something you can ask your child. Like I used to tell parents, when they come, they say, this child, talk to me. I said, okay, you know what? Use your family. If a child, you see that child is a politician, you know there is a politician in your house. So why don't you, we are having the electoral process now, why don't you turn your house to have a presidential or a governorship debate with this child?
Wow.
So that is how it starts.
That's a lot.
If a child is telling you, I want to do this, tell me the reason why. You know, I tell people, I want to be a medical. What is the why? I wanted to be a nurse because I love their uniform, but I started coaching kids when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
So there's a pointer to this. So exposing them to the platform that can help to hone them. Because you cannot. If a child is very artistic, send the child to an art academy.
So now, how do you identify a child? Because you work with a lot of kid entrepreneurs, right? Like kids who are business owners. How do you help the child to identify their business skill and, you know, go for it and, you know, actually actualize it? We need to wrap this up.
Okay, so, you know, while growing up, we think that business people are people in the market selling tomatoes, selling onions and all that. But all of us are into business. It's either you're a service business or you're a product business. The idea of taking them through the business class is for them to know how they can move their idea from ideation to implementation to become a reality. Everything that we have, even this show was on the idea stage. So if you are talented or if you have a skill, how do you profit from this skill? Because when you have a skill and you're not making money, you're not profiting from it, then what is
the essence?
Even going to school, if you go to school and you are coming and you're a lawyer, what is the business side of the law? You need to know that. You're a medical doctor, what is the business side
There's
of
so much I've taken from this conversation, Juliet. And first off, I already know who the model is amongst the two kids. I already know who the analytical or critical thinking person is amongst both of them. So I am just going to look at platforms to, you know, put them in where those skills or those talents can be well developed. Thank you so much for, you know, doing this with us today. This has been a very insightful conversation, and I'm sure one or two parents watching has learned and gotten something from it. Thank you. All right, people, you've heard it all. We have to head over to the kitchen. Let's see what's cooking with Mike and Chef Olanike.
Mike is a good chef as well.
Focus. You just finish a discussion. Do after discussion. Right, so I'm here with Chef Olanike, and we are hard at work. We're done with we started with the gizzard, right? That's what we fried first. So now we are going with the potatoes. If you can see here, potatoes are already on the fire. They're getting almost ready. While we are also getting ready for the sauce, okay? So, peppered. All right, now just before we continue, we're putting together peppered gizzard and potato. And these are the ingredients. We have oil, onions, parsley, paprika, seasoning, boiled gizzard, diced potatoes, chopped garlic, pepper mixture chopped, fresh green and red chili, okay? So, I want you to look at this, what's happening here now. We had already fried this gizzard, but sauce is coming in together. We already put sauce. Let them sit now. Okay. Hey. Wonderful. But I need to just ensure that this gizzard is well fried. Sorry, I do not. You didn't see that? Okay. You didn't see that? What? That's salt?
Yes, that's salt.
Okay. So we're getting this sauce ready. Okay, wonderful. What's this now?
Oregano.
Oregano. That's our oregano. Okay, and this is what makes the gizzard peppered, I think, with all of this put together. Okay, but we don't need to stir yet, right? But the potatoes are looking quite very nice here. How long do we have to fry this for?
It's almost ready.
Okay.
Just have to drain it out.
Okay. And then incidentally, we have some fruits here, some greens and all of that here. Okay, this is quite good. It looks very nice, coming together nicely.
Just help me with the potatoes.
Okay, all right. We have to take out the potatoes now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I guess they are well fried now. Now, quite a lot of this, like Chef Olanike mentioned, is that it is quite healthy. We have, rather than using processed stuff here, quite a lot of it is very natural, from the fruits, the greens, and all of that. So healthy food, and then it's potatoes, so there are not so many carbs out there for you to contend with, as it were. Okay? And the aroma is already looking very nice. So what are you putting in there now?
This is about all.
Spring onions?
Yes.
Is that the
I will
spring
add
onions?
that at the
Okay,
end
that
of it.
later. Well, you put something before the
Yes,
spring onions.
yes,
That was
this, green
bell
bell
pepper.
pepper. Green
Okay.
bell pepper.
So we put in our bell pepper. Is there any order this can be done, or can someone? Because I just put it, just throw in everything at the same time.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
You can just throw everything in at the same time.
Depends
Okay.
on your choice.
Wonderful,
Really like
wonderful, wonderful. So for people
So
like
you
me,
don't
we
need
just
too much oil.
yeah, I can just throw everything inside. I don't need. Oh yes, I can see that the oil is just enough for what is needed here.
Yes.
Okay, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done.
Can I just move this here?
Almost done. Okay. All right, that's it. We're almost done. We'll just take a short time out now. Chef Olanike and myself were preparing peppered gizzard and potatoes. And peppered gizzard is now what is on fire. We're done with the potatoes. Let me put this here. Yep. Okay, so stay with us. On the flip side, it's the second lap of the show. We will be right back.
And you're welcome back. It's the second hour here for the #1 breakfast show on Nigerian television. And if you love the first hour, then of course you're going to love what we have for the rest of the day.
Yes, so as always, we try everything within our power to make every single round of your time with us count. And hopefully, we live up to your expectations.
Now, for a lack of a better description, we would say we're #1 at everything, I guess. And we remain pure and undiluted family entertainment. And our goal remains simple.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, talking about simple goals, there's nothing simple happening in the kitchen right now.
No, the kitchen.
The aroma.
It's not just that.
Let's say guess saying I'm not going again.
They're fighting over dominance.
So
in
you know
there.
that today there's no hope for any other person.
Keep quiet there.
After the guess is that it's Otilo. But yeah, Chef Nike, we are almost done. I love the way you break down everything. She told me that you said you parboiled the pepper before now.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Just to make sure that it's not too raw, it's not tasting raw.
Okay.
Because you need to, for some, they really love it very, very hot.
I know them. They are in the PCR. They're laughing at me now.
But not everyone loves it that
Love
You
it.
know, having Mike in the kitchen is like having a cat guard your bowl of
MM is
milk.
learning. We're teaching
So
her.
Mike is like guarding the bowl of milk, the bowl of food we are eating today. Safe to say that no breakfast for anyone else, but we are used to it.
Ah, you guys are lucky I'm on a diet.
Yes, it's working. You can see the tummy. You can see the tummy.
diet.
See.
Oga, it's because you don't like what's cooking today.
It's not so.
See your brother dancing. See your shameless. If
Are you
shameless
seeing
was a
this?
person when it comes
Everything
to
has
food.
come together.
Hey.
Okay, wait.
It's called a
I have to tell them.
Mike.
I have to tell them why Mike is wearing a monkey suit. It's to hide the stomach. He has not been able to push it in. That's why. I'm sorry, Mike. I have to
Gandhi,
do
we're
it.
not going to chop this food.
In any case, you guys.
You know what? Just stay with us
Stay
for the
with
next
us.
45 minutes and be a part of this exciting journey. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
My name is Mazino Appeal. Remember, you can use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria across all our social media platforms to be a part of this, the greatest breakfast show on Nigerian television.
Yes, so remember you can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world, and that's through our mobile app, which you can download from the Google Play Store or iOS, okay?
Yeah, and GOTV channel 27 and UHF channel 49 is where you can find us to see us as we are.
Yes, we also implore you to follow us across all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere at TVC Connect.
Alrighty, now today let's let you guys know what we have coming for the rest 45 minutes.
A minstrel Mosun Alake, popularly known as Mosun Exalter, is a gospel music minister who will be on the show to give us a performance this morning. We are looking forward to it.
Now, Ovi Godwin is a comedian, host, and MC who has been doing stand-up comedy for the past 4 years. He's witty, informative, and very animated while he tells his jokes. Now, Ovi Godwin has performed at a whole wide range of shows. He's performed at Bovie's Man on Fire, to Rhythm Unplugged, to SLK's TGIF, and he is a constant act on Kenny Black's campus tour, to mention just a few. He'll be here and we'll be having a chat with him.
You see yourself as
Who are you exactly?
What are you?
That's wicked. Oh, God. My heart goes out to that guy.
But it was
You know
funny.
something about him here? When I think that the best form of a joke is when you can make a joke about yourself.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing anybody will tell you that will hurt you
Yes,
again, I
yes,
think.
yes.
Because I've done stuff, I've seen him at performances where, look, the joke is on me, I'll make the joke about myself, I'm making money.
That's like me in
Mike,
secondary
you're coming
school.
into your self-awareness.
Okay, just 2-3 days of affirmation. This was study therapist. But I
Okay,
saw
so
something
I
that
wanted... Okay.
I saw
okay.
something quite interesting here, yeah? Countries with the highest average working hours also tend to have the lowest productivity. research suggests that 6 hours of work a day is ideal for maximum performance.
That's old news. That's something that has been...
You think they've not always...
I don't mean it. Like, what I mean is, it's something that people have always preached for the longest time,
And
because you get fatigued at the end of the day when you're at the office for over 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean, and even the COVID pandemic actually brought us to that realization, because, I mean, people were working remotely and they were still being productive. So
Elon Musk doesn't agree
So
with
I
you.
do not know why you want to waste money on office space, except, of course, you want to patronize the real estate industry. But it makes a lot more sense when your workers are at home. You save on fuel. Unfortunately, it has up to that fuel. But you save more as an employer if you allow your employee work remotely. It's selfish to say, oh, the person will not be working. The person will be doing other things. Hello, how much are you paying?
You know what I
It's
think?
just normal that the person will do it. Even in your office, they are doing other things. But as long as they give the results, that's
Do you know
what's
what I
most
think?
important.
Even if you don't believe in it, give it a trial. Say 1, 2, 3 months. And then look at your productivity.
And your profits as well.
Exactly. And fine, just try it. So if it doesn't work,
So you
to
leave
Elon
home at
Musk
4
style.
a.m. You get to the office 6 a.m. because you wanted to beat traffic. Work starts at 8. Those first 2 hours are not counted.
4 hours.
So you are starting 8 o'clock already. Work has started. And then you close at 5. Enter the traffic. Sometimes you can't even close at 5 because an emergency comes up.
I also want to, however, play devil's advocate here and say that the current crop of people who work remotely have actually spoiled it. Because people have become very lazy.
Yes,
there are
because
apps
there are
that
people-
actually you can download that makes your mouse keep working. So remote working is just like you sipping tea and then
there are people who actually take these things for granted as well, because there's something about being in the working environment and then being in the home environment.
Some people cannot function in an office. So for those people, I think it's best for them. But there are some people that they cannot function at home. They need that exit. So give that option. Do you want to work remotely or you want to come to the office?
Darling, even people that will say yes. Can we all work from home?
Kumbaya, yeah, kumbaya. What is that?
So, okay, we want to say the grace.
And present the show for
It's okay.
We want to say the grace now. Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has promised to recruit more teachers, give loans to students as part of efforts to develop education sector and build youth capacity. Tinubu made the promise during his presentation at Chatham House in London, the United Kingdom. More details in this package.
Why? I see myself as a marketable individual.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu spoke on the topic, Nigeria's 2023 elections, security and economic development, and its foreign policy imperatives to a mixed audience of Nigerians and foreigners.
The youth has been part of that. I want the governor of Lagos State.
He said youths are the greatest asset of the future, adding that they will be part of his, quote, all-inclusive government, pointing to Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The APC presidential candidate also promised to secure the country if elected as president, calling for a violence-free campaign. He condemned recent attacks of offices of the Independent National Electoral Commission in some parts of the country.
We are still building confidence in our democratic and voting system.
The former Lagos State Governor also insisted that his birth, academic and professional records are consistent, adding that his critics are only wasting their time and money.
At the time of birth, I was dated March 29, 1952, and the family record. I didn't think then, that day, I've determined to be or decided to be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Not even that I will go to politics. I've a very good exposure in life. My record is consistent. And the school and the university, they question. They now convinced that they wasted their money and their time. I'm not claiming another father. I am Tinubu and Tinubu proper. If they want a DNA, they could as well require for one. Deloitte trained me as an accounting firm. Mobile Oil has attested to my record, a standing record. I got to the pinnacle of my career. And the private sector, who among them can brag about it?
Some members of his entourage spoke on what they hope to achieve when voted into power, ranging from reduction in oil theft by adopting necessary technology and amending the constitution to ensure state policing, amongst others.
To combat oil theft is tied to the security situation of Nigeria. The personnel of all the security or coercive agencies will be increased to cope with the large population of Nigeria.
The armed forces are not fighting with other countries. They are fighting with non-state actors. And the doctrine, the training, the numbers must change. And the Bola Tinubu administration already has a blueprint which is embedded in our action plan to address this. We'll scale up the numbers of the armed forces. We'll ramp up not only the numbers, but the training and equipment.
Private sector-driven economic growth and foreign direct investment will also be a key element of that process. That's the objective of the administration, and that's what they intend to achieve through the economic policy.
Nigeria has been more dependent on importing drugs from outside the country, vaccines from outside the country. He is going to also go into health manufacturing, where would produce the essential medicines that Nigerians can consume.
They assured the audience of accelerated investment on gas production, revamping the economic and foreign policy imperatives.
And that's it on the news updates for today on Wake Up Nigeria. Remember, there's so much more to come, so just stay with us. O.V. Godwin right there. Of course, as you can tell already, he is a comedian, host, and MC who has been doing stand-up comedy for over 4 years. O.V. is witty, informative, and very animated when he tells his jokes.
Yes, now he's performed plenty places over the years, of course, Bobby's Man on Fire, Rhythm Unplugged, and so on and so forth. But it's good to have you here, Bobby. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Grand. Stand-up comedy in Nigeria has come a long way. Everybody can testify to that. But recently, it's, well, let's say it's
More
the money...
skits, yeah.
What?
You're talking about the skits, huh?
The skits, yeah, exactly. I'm going to talk about the evolution. Recently, it's kind of like evolving into skits and all of that. But first off, let's talk about you inside of the stand-up comedy environment. How did you get started?
My friends, they put me into the trouble.
They put you into that trouble?
They set me up. When I was in school, some years back, they saw somebody performing on stage and they were like, Nero and Aisha, they were like, Ovi, you can make us laugh better than this guy now. And that our friends used to set you up to shame, you know. So they made me feel like
shame you.
they made me do it, and that was the first time I tried it. And there's always the luck of doing stand-up for the first time. You kind of just scale through, but the second time, you know, you pull your family name into the business and you embarrass yourself. So, but then I stopped stand-up after that time until 2017.
Oh,
when I kick-started with Omo Baba #1's comedy club.
Yeah,
I remember at that time. So that was my work center.
Okay, so, you know, for many people, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, it's either they stumbled into it or they, you know, got dragged into it. In your case, you were dragged, and then later you started to enter it.
Yeah.
But as a comedian, how do you gather your material? What inspires your material?
Okay, so because of the jokes I find exciting to do are facts and information I think they are random or the ones that people are not aware of. And they may be very personal stories. If I experience them personally and it hurts me, if I can feel pain, then I can make you laugh. So that's always where I center my jokes. Then if you listen to more of my material, you see that the material is about information around the world.
Okay.
And then I find the funny side. Then I think that's where the natural inclination to be hilarious comes in. If you are creative with the humor, that's where the natural gift of, the gag comes in. If you're able to make people laugh, think about it in your head. What do you think would be the ridiculous side of the story?
Yeah.
And then put it out.
Have you ever been heckled? And how would you, how would you treat that?
All right, so there are a couple of places there that you should not go to if you don't want to suffer. Stand-up comedy. There used to be some poor comedy clubs. Now, when I say comedy clubs, they are not necessarily a clubhouse. It's like how you think about a gathering of book clubs, science clubs.
Exactly,
so a place where people come to.
We have those in
Nigeria. There are very few of them. We have SLK, G1. I used to do them, but we just put it on a halt for now.
Okay.
So. There are some that I've experienced.
Well, that's true. D1's Comedy Club every Wednesday.
Yeah, every. Oh, okay. Yeah, D1's Comedy Club.
So you're saying those clubs you shouldn't go to if you don't.
No, not those ones. There are some. So for my safety, now I'm still very young in the work.
Yeah.
So I don't want somebody to say, hey, you want to take it to the UK? Okay, let's see now. You say my comedy club is rubbish, Abby. So some of them they don't tame the audience to understand that you can't be bigger than a performer. So you have to respect the act on stage. Oftentimes, you won't listen to what you don't respect. So you have people say, hey, come over there, who be this one when they talk? You just speak English for us. My stand-up comedy is in English language. And not to say that you yelling at me makes me like maybe a coward, or I know my comedy is good because I've heard like the very big names do it, talk about it. I've been on platforms that count, and every time I finish my stand-up, people are always coming to meet my request for me for jobs. So it means I'm trying.
Yeah,
well,
I'm trying,
well.
don't worry. We'll give that to you.
But then you have people yelling. So I had that one time. Come on there, who be this one? You follow me the one you we did for school with this,
but really, Ovi, have you ever died on stage?
Ooh,
like, that's oh my God, I can't
freeze.
See, it's even, I can't remember one. Like that feeling of, just tell us, have you ever?
Yes, I think it happens to even the biggest of names. But this one, I actually, the dying I died was ladies. Ladies were the one crucifying me. Hey, you are too dry. Can somebody pour water? I was like, gosh.
Ouch.
Like, God. Exactly. So I had that problem, and I'm not dry. It's my mouth. It's because come on there, your mouth is dry.
Wow.
Dry. So I had that, but you always you don't see, like someone used to give an example. The best or the greatest don't always have it perfect, but it's just that you show up at most times that will count.
Yeah. So you said something I want to pick on here. You said your comedy is in English. This makes your comedy exportable. But do you think that you would stand up in a foreign audience? Do you think that your comedy will hold its own in a foreign audience? I mean, if you take even the indigenous comedians who speak in pidgin English, we've had cases where they're exported and they do grand basketball. He does pidgin English here, but when he's outside the country, he does English.
Yes.
And it's still rather funny.
Yes.
Do you think you can hold up a British or American audience?
Okay, so firstly, I'll say yes. And that's because I've done a couple of niche crowds in Nigeria where you have like people from the Netherlands, people from China, people from parts that don't know what's happening in Nigeria and had a great time. So, but comedy is relative because it's depending on the topic or the matters you decide to talk about. So if, like for example, when you see the big news, when they go there, this is no shade. Oftentimes it's to Nigerian people in diaspora. So you're kind of familiar with the culture and things to talk about. But when you're performing to like whites, like real foreigners that don't know how Nigeria works and not related to Nigerians, you need to have only particular jokes that can cut across.
Yeah.
I find that really very true because the British are known for their dry humor.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to key into that or they're just going to be like, what's it on about? Like, they won't be able to relate.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Talking about relatable jokes, how do you create jokes according to the kind of audience you have?
Okay, so one kind of hack that works globally is relationship jokes. So when you come to people around,
everybody falls in love.
Talk about your lover, talk about maybe your parents, and the contrast in how you are so mild here and how we are tougher there, and then bring global stories. So from like very big presidents around the world, people that draw attention, Putin. Kim Jong-un in North Korea than America's president.
You
So
seem to have all this down to the T. I find it very, very easy. Like everything's well arranged and orderly.
You have
got every answer.
what I just wanted to ask
What?
him.
What?
I was going to ask him that. You know, actors have, acting school.
Yeah.
Is there a comedy school? Because he does seem to have all the facts to a T.
Very good question. Is there a comedy school?
Yeah, I've never
I've
come
always
across it.
wanted a situation where, because I don't know, MM can testify. MM, am I not a great comedian under certain circumstances? MM, aren't I? I'm a great comedian, aren't I? Come on. Get out.
You have your answer.
But my point is, I wish there was a place where I could go to hone that skill. Albeit it's a very small ability.
Yeah.
I might not be funny, but I know that perhaps maybe if I was schooled, I could perhaps
could
get better.
try to risk the pain.
Yes. Is there a comedy school?
Okay, not that I'm aware of.
Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, but this is the thing with like.
It's a bini an ability.
Good. So this is the part. Almost any soft skill is teachable. However, the part of the brain that requires you to convert things to ridicule is oftentimes innate. Oftentimes it's like innate, is from within. So you can't teach somebody how to convert things to ridicule. It's somebody that likes to see the ridicule in things that you can help to hone, to polish more, then push it out there. So oftentimes, that's why the comedy school, there was one very, very, I don't know if I call it maybe a very scandalous video of somebody that did British Got Talent, and she went to the comedy school, and when she tried her first joke on stage, you could hear the silence. Ooh. It was hammer time, it was desert.
So just before we get to the kitchen.
Because we're taking you there.
Yeah, because we're taking you there for breakfast. I have one question to ask you. How do you test your jokes? How do you test it out?
Okay, so first things first, it must be funny to me. Yes, then a couple of guys you just chip it in the conversation.
Try it around and
yes.
That kind of thing.
Those my guys that are also inclined, like Package, Oscar Franklin, and SLK. So we're always very together. Yeah, that's good that you can add this and add that. Then thirdly,
build on it.
The comedy clubs.
So the best way to test is in front of an audience.
Audience, lower than 100 people.
I'll even say 50 is even good.
Okay, at this point, let's take a look at, there was something you did about phone a friend. Yes, so we're going to take a look at that one now. You should see it. Let's take a look at it.
The world's first female prime minister, Margaret Thatcher, Jacinda Ardern, Golda Meir, Sirimavo, Bandera Nike. Are you confident about the answer?
I'm not confident. The only name I think I've heard of.
I'll run with that money. Keep quiet. Don't waste my time.
Oh, that was interesting. How did it feel on the hot seat, by the way?
Heavy. So I'll say that most people don't know that there are subliminal sounds track that play that increases the tension. You have to be pulsated for no reason. You'll be feeling that there's one that you don't hear. But it's intentionally there.
I can imagine.
To make you feel.
Well, you took your 250,000.
Yeah.
So that's right.
We had Chef DK. Come on, tell us about what we did this morning.
Okay, this morning I made for you specially peppered gizzard with diced potato, garnished with lettuce, sesame.
Okay, we are digging now. You have to try it so you can give us feedback. Our chef needs your feedback.
It doesn't look like it's going to go round, Chef. I'm not very happy because we were thinking that it was like one big party.
I say you kept somebody in the kitchen. What did you expect?
It's Mike Abi. He has eaten all the gizzard.
You are the reason why we used to branch random weddings.
I have a feeling that's part of why he joined comedy, to be getting free food at parties.
He gets paid in food.
I get paid for it. All right. Okay, that's about it on the show this morning. Thank you so much for watching Wake Up Nigeria. We hope you join us again tomorrow for Wonder Women Wednesday.
Yay!
Woohoo! Until then,
day,
enjoy your day. Bye-bye.